What's up YouTube? Shaquille Amarinas here, back with another video for you guys. I did want to wish everyone happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Hope you all have a great and safe time. All right, let's go ahead and hop in. So if there's any of you who are not aware, Anthony Davis actually got injured about 2 games ago playing against the Timberwolves. It was just a freak accident. I know we always joke around with AD and being injured, right? I always say AD is always down. You know, Mr. Glass, Street Clothes. We've piled up the nicknames on him. This one though was a freak accident where somebody literally just crashed right into his knee. There really isn't much that, as a player, that you could have, done about that. And so he has an MCL sprain, and he's going to be projected to be out for at least 4 weeks, and he's going to be reevaluated then at that point. I've actually had this injury myself, and man, it sucks. It's not something that you're going to be able to kind of tough your way out of. In terms of lateral movement, you're not really doing any sort of lateral movement. Just walking was painful on its own. He's gonna be out. I really don't see him being back in 4 weeks. I mean, I think with AD, they always end up kind of taking it a bit slower than normal, which, makes sense considering his injury history. I think he's really gonna end up being out about 6 weeks. And so this puts the Lakers in real danger. I mean, I know in the beginning of the season, they already looked bad. A lot of people were writing them off. But in all the other videos I kept talking about, right, I was saying, if the Lakers are healthy, and it's just not their year in terms of health and being able to sustain having all of their players together. So it was looking like we're finally starting to get the squad together. All right, let's, get as many of these games under our belt as we can before the trade deadline so we could see where we really stack up as a team against these top tier teams. But now we're just really not going to be able to see it again. And so we wait 6 weeks. That's going to put us back until mid-February. Now we're past the trade deadline. We're probably looking at around the All-Star break. This is way too far of a timeline for AD to be injured. And now the Lakers and Laker fans, we should definitely be panicked. We're not going to be able to get a really good grasp of what this team is really going to look like with the big three of AD, Russ, and LeBron. And that's the really troubling part, because we needed to see, how is this going to work? How is this going to fit? And just now we're not going to be able to see that before the trade deadline. So we're going to be going into that part of the year with really limited information about what we actually look like as a squad. And you can see the effects of AD being out already as we played against the Bulls. We just looked way too small. With Dwight out on COVID protocol and now AD being out, the only big guy that we actually have left is DeAndre Jordan. And there's no way we can, actually play that guy for even 20 plus minutes just because of how slow he is, really. And so you could actually see that even though the Lakers in total out-rebounded the Chicago Bulls 46-43, we actually got out-rebounded on the offensive board 16-9. Part of that was, in the last sort of minute and a half of the game where the Lakers, got stops. LeBron actually swatted DeRozan on the drive to the basket, but we just can't secure the dang rebound. And so it doesn't matter if we're playing great defense. If you can't rebound the ball and secure it so that you can actually get an opportunity to score on the other end, you're just going to infinitely be on the playing on the defensive end of the floor. And teams, especially top tier teams, are way too talented to be giving up 2, 3, sometimes 4 extra possessions on a play. It's just like, they're gonna score at some point. And so AD being out is going to hurt us drastically over this next stretch of games. On top of that, we've got well over half of our team, being out due to either injury and or COVID protocol. And so the Lakers are just ravished right now. This is really not looking good. They're going to have to force LeBron basically to get no type of rest and play all of these games just to try to keep us in, a competitive spot so we're not in that play-in spot again like last year. And so we can, for the most part, expect teams to out-rebound us, especially on the offensive boards. You couple that with us being a terrible free throw shooting team so that when we actually get the ball and can stop the clock, we're not converting, and we're a terrible turnover team. So these are just all recipes for disaster without having our full squad there, because I think it's going to intensify our weaknesses, especially turnovers. Yesterday against the Bulls, the Lakers had, now I checked ESPN and it says 19 turnovers, but when I was watching the game it said 20, so I don't know, 19, 20 turnovers is what the Lakers had. Even if they were just back down to their season average, which is third worst in the NBA of 15 turnovers a game, we still would probably win that game against the Bulls last night. You know, we have 6 turnovers coming out of Russell Westbrook. I guess not really a surprise there, but 4 coming out of LeBron, another 4 coming out of Rondo. That's 14 turnovers coming from the guys on our team who are supposed to be handling the ball and taking care of the ball and not turning it over. And so when you have our season average of turnovers out of 3 of our guys who are primary ball handlers, we're just setting ourselves up for disaster. Something positive that we could see out of last night's game, at least, was that there was a lot more ball movement, off the ball movement. You know, people were cutting all the time. I was like, what the hell? Why weren't we doing this as a team when AD was here? You know, instead, when we have AD on the floor, they just kind of plop him the ball. And it's like, all right, AD, here you go. Like, if you get double teamed, just pass it out. If not, you know, go to the basket or do something with it. And it's just the way that our offense looks totally revamped, and so that's a positive sign. But again, with everything else taken into consideration, the turnovers, the poor free throw shooting, and now we're missing 2 of our centers / power forward players. You know, yes, Bron can play the 5, but he won't be able to be completely successful at that every single night, having to play against these much larger dudes. Plus he's playing, you know, close to 40 minutes a game. I think he's either second or third in the NBA in minutes played per game. On top of that, he's 37 years old. Like, dang, can this guy get a break? I honestly kind of feel bad for LeBron at this point because of everything that he's going to have to do on the floor on a nightly basis. So yeah, I am definitely in panic mode. My other Laker fans out there and just anybody else who's watching that are NBA fans, if you think the Lakers should be panicking right now or not, definitely let me know in the comment section below. So if you kind of project out the next 3 games that the Lakers are going to play, they're going to play the Suns, the Spurs, and then the Nets. So they have a day in between each game. I guess that'll kind of help with a little bit of rest, but the Lakers are going to go on a skid right here. We're already on a 2-game losing streak against the Timberwolves and the Bulls. Tomorrow we end up playing the Suns, who have the best record in all of basketball with only 5 losses so far in this season. I don't think that they're going to be able to beat the Suns with just how hot they're playing right now and just how garbage the Lakers have been playing, unless we get some sort of Herculean effort by either LeBron James or Russell Westbrook. And then we take a look at the next game after that. That's the Spurs. Now, that's the game where I do think we actually can't, or we should win that game. It doesn't matter if we don't have AD and Dwight and all the other guys. With LeBron and Westbrook, we should definitely be able to beat the Spurs hands down. We're going to go on a 3-game winning streak, and then we'll probably beat the Spurs. And then for Christmas Day against the Nets, if Kyrie and KD are playing, I just think that's going to be a loss. I know that the Nets are actually, they have a lot of players out too, just like the Lakers. So that one will be kind of more of a toss-up. You know, Kyrie hasn't really played the whole year. Even if he does play in that game, he's going to have to try to get his basketball legs underneath him and get his lungs back and all that. So I think that one is going to be more of a toss-up game despite the Nets having the best record in the East. I just think that they're so hurt by the amount of players that they have out due to COVID that could potentially, you know, give the Lakers some sort of a way to actually win that game. So that one's going to be my real toss-up game. But again, out of these next 3 games, I'd say that I'm projecting them to lose 2, which means in totality, out of their last 5 games, they would have lost 4 of them. And so that's probably going to kick us down into the play-in spots for the playoffs. So our poor Lakers, they're really going to be struggling, and I don't know, man. I just hope Rob Pelinka can try to figure out something. In Pelinka, I trust. You've done enough so far to definitely earn that trust. So let's see if he can pull off some magic for us towards the middle of the season here. But yeah, guys, I'm signing off now. I did want to give a huge huge shout out to like the all 10 people that watch my videos every single time that I post. It honestly means so much to me, you guys. I really can't say it enough. Having you guys comment to just know that you're watching my videos, it really gives me the energy and the drive to keep making these videos. So seriously, from the bottom of my heart, guys, thank you so much, because that really keeps me going with such a small channel. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, don't forget to go down and hit that like button and also subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next one. Happy holidays, everyone. Merry Christmas. Peace.